Hello, hello. Is there anybody in the chat? Hey Sheila, how you doing? What's going on, Shannon? I thought your little intro video was nice. Hold on, let me get a glass of water real quick. I started a little bit early because I know it takes a while for those alerts to hit, and I wonder, was it a little bit better when I send it on the community post? I'm asking that because I don't want it to be annoying, you know what I mean? And so if you can hear me, just go ahead and type if the sound is good. I think we have a pretty bad delay then. If unless you're driving, then don't message if you're driving. I'll just wait for people to come in. Hey Faith, how you doing? Hey Hannah, how you doing? And we got a good crew here today already. Well, I got in kind of like, not really a debate, but like kind of a passionate discussion kind of by text on just back and forth about I have this opinion on like mainstream teachers and pastors and stuff that it's like I'm very skeptical, right? And I don't want there to be any like any misconceptions, right? I'm not saying that anybody is like intentionally bad, or I'm not saying that even the ones that I disagree with, I still learn from, right? You can learn from a lot of great teachers, right? They're out there. I'm just extremely skeptical, right? So part of my thing is not that I think teachers are bad or pastors are bad. I think we need them, and I think that I'm just a baby in all this. I don't know. I don't know anything, like out of everybody, like, I feel like almost uncomfortable saying that I disagree with somebody that's, been teaching for 30 years or something like that, right? To me, that's absurd, right? Like, it's hard for me to say, hey, I disagree with that person because they disagree with me about salvation, or they disagree with me about, the rapture or whatever, right? It's just disagreements, right? And this is what gets me, right? Is that I'm just saying, like, if someone's saying that repentance is a part of salvation, right? Which we all repent in this chat. We all do it still, right? Whether it's part of salvation or not, right? But if it's part of salvation, then what is it that they do that we don't do? Like, what's the physical application that they're doing that we're not doing? Because if there's nothing different, right, then we agree. We all agree. And it's just some kind of like buzzword disagreement thing that man has put in there, because when I read the Bible, I don't read it and get a bunch of things I disagree with or a bunch of debates. When I read the Bible, I just read it for edification, right? Like, okay, this is what I need for the day to get through the day, right? And I just believe whatever it says. I don't think about two different spots in the Bible and one extra word and what does this word really mean, and I don't go into it like that. I believe exactly what it says. If it says we will meet Jesus on a cloud in the sky, then that's what I believe. Right? I don't want to look up the word and figure it out or anything. I just believe what it says. And I'm not saying that like pastors are bad. I think pastors are great. I'm just very skeptical because I've been lied to my whole life, and I think that that's normal, right? I think that we should all be skeptical and question everything, right? I mean, unless I'm wrong, right? Unless like skepticism is not something that humans lack nowadays, right? We got in this mess by believing people in the first place. If you tell me that on page 9 of the Bible it says, XYZ, well, I want to go look at it. I want to see for myself whether I trust you or not. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about this is stuff that I need to know for my life, man. I need to know this stuff for my life, and I need to know this stuff because it's the most important and most loving relationship that I have, right? I mean, like for the past 5 years I've lived alone, but I'm not lonely. You know what I mean? Like God is my like God is my best friend. And so when I'm not here, I'm learning about God, or trying to find some place to go, like witness to somebody that's broken or hurt or over caught up in the drama. And I get burned every time I reach out. Get on somebody's panel, get barked at, made fun of like I'm some kind of fool. But you know what, man? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, man. And I just I just think that we should question stuff, and but not only that though, but like why dig in, right? On like if we are living our lives exactly the same, there's nothing extra that I do than you. There's nothing extra that you do than me. Then what? We don't disagree. Then we like any disagreement would be made up. It would be semantical, right? And so, like, I mean, we got to get out of this, Hegelian dialectic, where there's two sides to everything, because there is not two sides to everything in the Bible. We agree that the Bible is the truth and that Jesus is the Lord, right? Well, that's it. I'm not going to lean on my own understanding. I'm not going to lean on your understanding. God has a perfect understanding of it. I'm going to read it for edification and so I can memorize the verses the best I can so that I'll have that ammo for when I'm in like discussions with people. I don't like Bible debates really, I just want to help people with that information. I don't want to I'm not here to try to make anybody look silly. I'm not here to look silly myself. I'm not here to debate. I don't ever get angry. I just love the Bible and I love God. Yeah, man, just keep our heart focused on the higher things. And here's the thing, like everybody that I have these little debates with, right? I love every single one of I mean, some people I've known a long time, and I always welcome people. If you disagree with me, come on the show. Come on the show and we'll talk about it, Especially if you're well liked and you know what I mean? And I have a lot to offer. I mean, the person it's public over there, so it's not like I'm giving up any information, but like, that's a well liked person that could come on and disagree with me. I'm cool with that. I let a whole bunch of people come on that disagree with me about stuff. I think the key is like don't dig in. Once you dig in, then you're not open to listening to anything else, And that could be more of a, attitudes are the real disability, right? Like having a bad attitude is everything. Not saying that people have bad attitudes, right? We could be two loving people just having a loving discussion, right, about God, right? And that's the way I see it, I mean, I was calm through the whole thing, but like, it's like sometimes I feel like people are getting riled up, over things that that really we're not in debate over, man. We really aren't. I mean, if you love God and you read the Bible every day, then you're just doing what you're supposed to do. you know, and just because, you know, you feel like there's a word left out of a couple verses or something like that, well, I mean, you can't say that like a verse isn't true because you want to add something to it, or because there's another verse that has something. I mean, I don't know, man. I just agree with everything, all of it, both. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, you know, on rapture, right? I think there's a rapture, but I'm open to the fact that there might not be, right? I'm not right about everything, you know. And so if there's not, then I'm down for whatever we got to do, you know. I mean, I'm not above suffering. I'm cool with that. I mean, I'd prefer to die fast instead of being hungry or something like that, or sick. But you know, it is what it is, right? So, yeah, that's all. That's all. That's my little rant today. But I'll tell you what, the thing that is hard, the hardest is that I care a lot about you guys, man. And whenever I'm having because there's always like times where I have like an issue with people, like they'll stop talking to me for a couple of days, they'll be mad at me or something, and I mean that hurts, man. My heart is with those people, right? Whether they're barking at me and it's not even my fault, right? I just kind of let it go. But it doesn't mean that I don't feel for that other person, you know? I'm not one of those people where if you know you curse me out, I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, well, forget you then, you know, like I give you time to calm down and make it easy to come back, right? And, you know, without any shame, right? And then we could talk about it, right? Because I know how things are when we're heated up, you know. And you know, I try to be very understanding to the fact that you know we've been lied to since we've been born, right? Some of us even have physical abuse in our lives, right? Like on top of it, on top of the brainwashing and the propaganda, and you know, hey Benton, how you doing? And so, yeah, it's crazy, man. You know, and yeah, what's up outside four walls? Sorry, I didn't say hi. Um, but yeah, man, just think about all the different types of ways that they like. It's insidious, man. Like how much they reference the Bible in real life and real songs, right? That if I didn't read the Bible, I wouldn't know that they were referencing the Bible. Or you know these little signs, right? Like I there was this cartoon, uh, you know, entrance. I forget, you know how like the song for the show or whatever, and there was like a picture of the Statue of Liberty, and then a picture of Jesus was smaller than the picture of the Statue of Liberty. And if you know what the Statue of Liberty is, right? It's Helios, right? And so Helios is another name for you know Zeus, Apollo, Horus, right? It's the Antichrist, right? There, you know, it's a subliminal message, right, to kids or to whoever's watching that cartoon that this American symbol, right, is bigger than God, you know? And so these little things that they use to like manipulate us, right? Every sound that we hear, everything we breathe, everything we eat, right? All that stuff, right, affects us, right? And you know, oh yeah, by the way, Shannon's doing a channel that you know, it's about like food and recipes and you know some homesteading type stuff. And I think that's going to be interesting, and I'm going to really do my best to promote that, you know. And then uh Jake and Stephanie are they have their channel. I don't know how often they're going to have a show or a video, but I'd like to support that too, you know. And so, you know, if we can get it to the point where, and I know people work and all that stuff, and we just have really a small group with some, you know, kind of outside ancillary members, you know. But you know, I'd like to have like a web ring, you know, like you know, we're all kind of streaming at different times, right? We're not competing for everybody, right? And you know, it's a good chance to plug in and you know be in reality, right? Like get out of this mess and get into reality, because in real life, man, we're happy people, right? I mean, once you know you're saved, right? And you know that you're going, to the other side, you're going to be with God, right? That when God comes back, the suffering stops, It's not the end of the world, it's the end of the pain, And oh, thank you so much, Chris, for doing that. That's outstanding. I really appreciate you doing that. You guys do a really nice job. I just want to let you know that. And so, I feel like I prayed for each one of you, with your personalities to come to the channel, because there was a time where it was hard to get someone to help. There was probably twice as many people in the chat, but I couldn't get anybody to help out. And you guys have been so great. And there's a lot of people, a lot of old guard that still comes, and I'm so grateful for them. And yeah, I think that's so outstanding. And so if any of you guys want to do that, make like a channel or something like that, especially if it's going to be about God, or about living, or how we take care of ourselves, how to unplug from the system a little bit, how to separate from the world like we've been asked to do, right? And oh yeah, no problem, Sheila. And so, I don't want to make this always sound like, the same rant all the time, but like, I'm happy as hell, man. I'm happy. Look, the only thing I'm not happy about is that there are people that are suffering, right? But like, you know, in reality, with the things that I could help and the things around me, right? I know where I'm going, right? And I'm confident with that. The only thing that I'm doing is trying to help other people, right? Like trying to reach out and help other people. Because remember when Jesus said, you fed me when I was hungry, you were there for me when I was sick, you visited me while I was in jail, right? And everyone was like, well, when did we do that for you, Lord? And he goes, well, if you've done that to the least of my people, right, then you've done it for me. And so I want to do that, right, for everybody that needs me. And it's really because of my love for God, right? I mean, I can unplug from this, right? Change my name to Skippy and just hang out and watch flat earth videos, like like we don't need to do this, but it's so important for us to have this, like, this bond where, like, we could leave here high-fiving, like, hey, you know what, it's bad out there, but we're good in here, and whatever we have inside of us that's good, we can spread to out there. Yeah, Skippy. I'll change my name to Skippy, man. Yep. I don't know why. I don't know, but but yeah, right, yeah. But we can spread our light to other people, and it's very easy. It really is, to be able to tell somebody, right, that's broken, right, been made fun of, maybe even exposed on the internet, right, humiliated in some ways, and maybe how their their intimacy and trust issues violated, right, and you go up to them and you say, you know what, God loves you, and God loves you, and uh way more for you right now than he will for us that are in line right now. You know what I mean? Like, you're the sheep that will cause God to rejoice, because you're home, and and getting saved and forgiveness, God makes that easy for us. I mean, God simply makes it a choice, and it's a gift, right? And because we understand that gift, right? Because we understand that gift, right? We do everything we can to make God happy, And so I just want to have, like, a lot of you guys, like, on the show. And I like talking to you guys. I like mixing it up. I want to, trying different ways to have 3 people up here, seeing which people will be fun to have together, you know, that kind of thing. And you know, I don't know how, because I don't. One thing I don't want to do, right, is I don't want to burn any of you guys out, right? Like if I'm, you know, if I'm asking you guys to, you like that? Me saying yeet. My son started that, man. Actually, like I'm like, hey, did you do this or that? Right? And he's like, yeet. Like I always thought it was like the best way to ask somebody if they're hungry, you know, like you know, just in one word, you know, hey, yeet. You know what I mean? I don't know, but yeah, different people, right? And I think that it's fun, right? I like having Shannon up here, and I like having Tom up here, of course. You know, I like having Faith up here, and Luke, and everybody. Really, I mean, you know, Chris, if he wants to come up anytime. And so, you know, a lot of you guys have a green light to come up here. You know that. And so, you know, anytime you want to come up, and if you guys have something that you've heard today or heard, you know, in the news or whatever, or something new that you know might be a sign or something of the end, right? Then yeah, man, come on up, you know, and explain that, you know, talk about it. Because oh, Arwen, right, on his show, I kind of like clicked on it to listen for about 10 minutes, right? And if you guys want, um, he had an idea about how to counteract the job if you've gotten the job, how to counteract it. And so I'm not going to steer, but if you personally want to know, email me at goodservant22@yahoo.com. Oh no, goodservant22 at Gmail. I'm sorry. And I thought it was pretty interesting, you know, and about things like that. So I trust him. I'll probably try to ask him again if he's sure that. Yeah, you know. Yeah, it's funny. Well, we all have all these little like, and I think they do it on purpose, right? To keep us from something, right? It's almost like language, where you're from, right? And you pick up all of it, right? And the internet is so much closer together, you know. And so, and this was about 4 years ago, but it was a car kind of like a monster. The mob, they put him in Canada, in Canada, and these posers, all right, have no fear, guys. I got it back. Nope. I got it back. All right, is it better now? She's all kinds of Chinese. No, he didn't say it to me. He said it on his show. Is that where the last time you guys heard me was that? Oh man, what's the last thing you heard me say? How long was I gone? Oh, wow, man. I said a whole bunch of stuff because I was referring to the hoser comment. I say what he said to take, right? But it has something to do with a horse. So you probably know what that is already. But just email me. Yeah. Goodservant22 at gmail.com. But I'm gonna ask him again if he's sure. You heard him say it too, right, Clutch? I thought you were there. I only plugged in for a little bit. I heard him talking about Rostat, and then he said a couple things about the intoxication or whatever, and then I was out of there because I was debating with Ray of Sunshine a little bit before she had to go. Oh, okay. Well, it's right at the beginning of his show. Yeah, this morning. And a couple things that I think he's really good at is like health stuff, like because he eats really clean, you know. And then yeah, he's good at like psychology of like trolls, like the troll psychology, you know, like really getting into their how they think and all that stuff. I mean, I think he would probably do better as like somebody that talked about that kind of stuff as opposed to flat Earth, even though he's got a nice aptitude for science, you know. But anyway, but I mean, like all smart people are weird like that, you know what I mean? So you know, we all have our ticks or whatever, right? So yeah, no. So you were saying Clutch about like Hoser, right? And there was this cartoon, right? That was uh it was from like I don't know. I watched it 4 years ago. It was called Forget About It. It was about an Italian mobster that like ratted on the mob. It was a cartoon. And like they had these two guys move into an abandoned house next door to them, and they couldn't make them leave because they were hosers and they were like national treasures, like native hosers or something like that. And so they had to wait for them to like leave early, but like they're like all professional squatters. I thought that was so funny. I'm like, man, how do you have bums be like a protected species or whatever in your country, you know? Oh, you saw it? Oh, that's funny, man. That's funny. Well, what happened was I discovered it right a few years ago. This is right before I discovered flat Earth, you know, and and uh, I binge watched it, man. Like the whole. I mean, it was like 3 or 4 seasons, right? And I binge watched it. I'm like, man, these Canadian cartoons are good, man. I wish there was more that I could find or whatever. But now I don't really. I mean, sometimes I like cartoons because it breaks the monotony of, you know, always being serious in the Bible and the truth and all that. But I can't help but see all the symbolism, and sometimes I overdo that. Like my brain is set to like unjumble words and names, and see signs and symbols and people being sneaky. I don't know. It's weird. I can almost see people's intentions too, you know? And so some of that I try to like dial back because, you know, we all do it. We all have our own little ticks or whatever. And I don't want to overdo it, but if it's obvious, then it's obvious, right? Oh, who's Bubbles? I've never seen Bubbles. What's that? Oh, now you're saying that somebody's the best and I want to see it now. What is Bubs? Oh, Trailer Park Boys. No, I've never seen that. I've never seen that. Yeah. But I mean, I think it's interesting, like all the like, because here's the thing, right? This is what I wonder, right? I know that there's a collection of countries, right, all clumped together where they tell us all the same history and they tell us all the same science and they tell us, all the same basic lies or whatever about history. But like, are there other countries where they tell their people like other stuff? Like, you know, they make up their own science, they have their own history, right? Like, I'm pretty sure there are, right? And oh yeah, yeah. But it's Cold Springs. It's everywhere. Did you know that the Washington Monument, right, is it's like 666 inches wide and 6,666 inches tall. It's something like that. It's crazy the dimensions of things, right? It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And not only that, but it's an obelisk, right? An obelisk is the staff of Baal, right? There's no other definition for what that is. It's an obelisk. It's a male part to a god, like one of their pagan gods. And so it's insulting. It's a middle finger to God, basically, right? And so so that's exactly my point, Cold Springs, about North Korea, right? Like, people, they're told all different lies or whatever, right? But that's the same thing's happening to us. We're not better. Like, for people to know that about North Korea and then not think that it's happening to us is like very arrogant, isn't it? Like we're not yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, isn't that gross, Faith, that we have that in our nation's capital? And then we have three cities, right, that aren't really part of countries. It's, like the Vatican, Washington, D.C., and London, right, are not part of their country that they're in. They're independent of the countries, right? And one is the military arm, one is like, the religious arm, and one is like the rulership arm of things, right? And I think that's how they run the world in these little cities that are autonomous, Of course, there's the UN and all that stuff, right? And the G8, and which is going to be the G10 pretty soon, right? The beast with 10 horns, right? And yeah, it's all happening. Yeah, everything is so perverted, right? Well, think about this, Cold Springs, right? With the rainbow symbolism, right? It seems harmless, right? They're like, oh yeah, it's got all the colors, it's over the rainbow, it's nice or whatever to use for your little organization, whatever, right? Blah blah blah, right? But in the Bible, right, the rainbow is to symbolize that God won't flood the earth anymore. So if you are feeling pride about something and you're waving that rainbow flag in God's face, right? That's basically saying like, oh, you're not going to do nothing about it. Like waving it, it's almost antagonistic, right? If you know what it means. I mean, I'm sure there's people that don't know that that's what it represents, and they're probably just proud of themselves, right? But and you got to be open to the fact that yeah, the pride is the sin, right? Pride is the sin. And so, like, it's not about people, it's about the sin, right? And so if we can somehow let people know that this is what that is, right? And look, there's a lot of things that I want to do in life, right, that I can't do, right? Because it's not pleasing to God, right? There's a lot of things like that, right? Like if I had a girlfriend living in here right now, I mean, I had a girlfriend my whole life until 5 years ago, right? But that's all sinful behavior by me, right? Like, except when I was married to my wife. And so I don't want to live like that anymore. That's something that I have to like forego. And so, that's the way it is. And so, yeah, I get it, man. I get it. Like, sometimes there's going to be people have to make some difficult decisions, right? If they want, if they want to live in, within the framework, right? And it was difficult for me, even when, it was an effort to fit into that. That's not my natural spirit, to want to follow all the rules, right? And so, it's hard to talk about, but it's reality, right? Because you don't want to look at a person and say, hey, look, there's something wrong with you, because there's not. There's just, there's things in life that we gotta, it's a trade-off, right? I want to give up my rebellious spirit, right? And make God happy. Yeah, I mean, Sodom and Gomorrah, Genesis 6, I mean, the garden, I mean, every time that the sexual sin is what has destroyed the world so many times, whether people know it or not, right? I'm not, not blaming anybody, but that's what it is, right? And so, but I wasn't raised like that to think that that was wrong, I was raised to think that there's just people like that, and that's just how it is, and never thought twice about it, not until I joined the army and seen that there was people really against it, I never seen anybody that wasn't, real tolerant, and so that's, whatever, right? But like, I'm glad to know the truth about the world now, and that we were created by God, right? And that we're his idea, right? He thought of us, right? Everything about us, I mean, he picked out our hair, he picked out our attitudes, he picked out our behavior, right? And he made us to have a million chances, right? To even in our last breath, right? To accept him, right? And to believe on him for our salvation. That's why I think it's very humbling, right? Because there's nothing about me that's any better than anybody else, right? So if I make it and someone else doesn't, right? That, I mean, it's not because I deserve anything, right? I don't. It's very humbling that I'm even able to make that kind of decision. And so I give him all the credit for that. All of it. And there's not enough that I can do for him. I'll keep doing this, I guess, and talking to people and listening to people if they need someone to talk to, right? And I don't need to sleep. I'll just keep doing it until I fall asleep, and maybe one day I guess I can do 3 shows a day, but for right now this is the best I could do. And we'll yeah, I'm not worried about the likes, but thank you guys for doing it. Whoever puts the likes or whatever, I mean, that's cool. I mean, here's the truth though. I've never looked at it. I don't think I've looked at it 1 or 2 times maybe in my whole life, because I don't know what it means. I don't know. I don't know. I just know I used to get a lot of thumbs down because of the flat earth stuff, right? And so yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, I guess, because it's an action that you made towards me in a positive way, and of course I appreciate that. And if I could do that for you guys, I will. But I never really think about that. Oh, guess what? Guess what? What's Truth told me on his live stream, that those bots or whatever that like post those, I don't know what kind of videos they are, probably not good, right? But if you don't ban them, right, if you just leave them, right, you get watch hours for those bots. like you can rack up watch hours because they're in your chat. Is that crazy or what, man? Yeah, no, they're like little bots, right? That like they probably put like little dirty movies or something in your chat, which is horrible. Or I don't know what it is, but oh yeah, the thumbs down button. Yeah. Now that I used to watch because I know that when me and Tom first started, we mostly just talked about flat Earth because it was so exciting, you know. And then about less than half the subs give you a like. Oh, okay, yeah. See, you have a better view count than I do. Faith, for real. I mean, mine's really consistent. Like it's always like 64 or 65, unless it's a good one or whatever. But it's weird how it's always the same, and it's different people in the night as it is in the day. There's just like a few core people in the day or whatever. Oh, there's Luke, man. Oh man, that's cool, man. I'm glad you stopped by, man. But no, I wasn't on someone's show yesterday, but I would be if someone needed me to be on a show. I mean, anytime I can reach out, but I don't mind doing it if somebody wants me to do it. I'm usually better on somebody else's show than I am on my own because I'm more loose to talk, because on here I'm really careful about what I say when I talk about like what God wants from us, right? So you have a couple videos that have over 1,000 views? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't have that. I had one that had 4,000, but it got deleted. They took it off, and they took all the views off too. And then I think now my best one's got 200 and something. I don't know. Maybe more than that. I can't remember. Who cares? I don't know. I put out so many and they're all the same, so I get it if someone only wants to watch one a week or something. Yeah, it's weird that like it's weird that like where are all these 1,000 people that subscribe to my channel? Where are they? Like when I go live, shouldn't there be like half of those people should be here or something? I mean, I don't know how it works. I know that some people, they just stop in for 5 minutes and they leave or something. They go, oh hey, how you doing? Which I appreciate. Trust me on that. I love that. But you would think, right, that if there's 1,000 people subscribe to your channel, that there'd be at least 100 people here or something. But I only get more than 20 only when I'm trolled. But whatever. I don't know. What do I know, man? I'm just a guy, just a regular guy. And I have a lot of love for you guys. What's up, Yaswell Soaring? Man, it just feels good to see you guys. And it's such a positive group. This is a good core positive group that's there for each other. It's a good family. And there's some people that I miss. I wish were here. And if we could get those people to come back, and shoot, we'd have a really good, nice solid group. And so I'm working on it, and I keep trying to ask new people to come. Right. So the last person I got to come here was his servant 222. I noticed her because she had the twos just like Dee Dee has. And I was like, okay, well, come to my channel. And she did, I guess. So that's great, huh? Usually one in 100, one in every 100 people will come here. So we're working on it, guys. And Faith is good at inviting people here. Well, guess what time it is, guys? Does anybody know what time it is? It's time to hit the old dusty trail. I would like to have her on, yeah, if she wants to come on. I mean, I think it's her name is Winter, I think. But yeah, it's time to hit that old dusty trail, guys. And praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. You know, all the glory, right? It goes to God because he deserves it. And you know, pray for the children. Oh, hey, how you doing? Thanks, God's watching this flat Earth. It's nice to see you. And so, yeah, pray for the children. And oh, hey, Michael, how you doing, buddy? Glad you got in here in time. That's awesome. And so, yeah, um, I'll see you guys later. Hey, Michael, text me. Let me know what's up with you, because I've been thinking about you lately. All right, bud. Oh, good, good, good. I'm glad you're good. And so, yeah, of course, pray for the kids, and I will see you guys tonight at 5 p.m. California time. See ya.